right-hand side, please put your hands on his feet, legs, those doors will be sliding closed now. And there we go, everybody. Asante Sana, word, that means thank you. Now, they're going to say here in Harambe is Twende, and that means let's go, everybody. Jumbo folks, my name is Garrett. I will be your safari driver today. And in order to have a wonderful and smooth safari, I'll please ask you to keep all hands on his feet and legs inside the vehicle at all times. And please remain seated, as this is a real truck and I really am driving it, so it may get a little bumpy out there. But I will do my best to minimize those bumps for y'all back there. So we're going to hold on for just a small second while we wait for final clearance from the ward to enter the reserve today. And while we do, if you look above your heads now, that is your animal spotting guide up there. That will help you identify any animal we may see on the reserve today. I cannot guarantee all those animals will be up and moving, but I will do my best to get as close as possible today. Just as long as when we get back, you promise not to tell me about how close I tried to get. But here we go now, folks. We're going into the Little Atiri Forest. And in here, it's best to keep your eyes peeled and cameras ready, as many of these animals have found wonderful ways to hide in their environment. So on your right-hand side, we'd see the okapi standing up out there now. Now, despite the zebra-like stripes on the okapi's legs, they're actually the closest living relative to the giraffe. One sign of this is their long, sticky tongue they use to reach into trees and bushes, pulling food to their mouth. But unlike a giraffe, the okapi will use that long tongue to clean their entire face, and that includes being able to lick their own eyeballs and reach inside their own ears with that tongue. And the okapi will stand around 5.5 to 6 feet tall, with the female actually being larger than the male okapi. Right now, we're going to dive deeper into the forest to see what else is moving around today. Like the black rhino on your left-hand side out there now. Now, I can identify that as a black rhino with two things. One, their size is one of the smallest rhinos, only weighing up to around 3,000 pounds. They also have a pointy front lip on their face that they're identified by, but since they're stuffing it with food, we can't really see it. So we're going to let that rhino continue with their dinner as we continue on. We're going to press further through the forest here to see if any other friends are moving around out there today, like the ones I see in the way distance out there. On your left-hand side, I see an orange-colored antelope just around the corner here and up on the hill there. Those are bongos right there. Now, bongos have backward slanting horns, letting them run through the brush quickly and not get caught on anything. As when the bongo is startled, they dive into the brush to disappear for good, which earns them the nickname, the Ghost of the Forest. And a tan-colored antelope was just down the hill there. That was the greater kudu down there. They stand 5 feet tall at their shoulders. That was also a female greater kudu, as only males have horns on their heads. And the male's horns are quite noticeable, as they can grow up to 6 feet long. But now, to keep our day fun and exciting here, we're going to head towards the Safi River to hopefully catch up with some semi-aquatic animals going about their day today. As we're making our way down to the river's edge, the Safi River will appear on your right-hand side here, just like so. And out there in the Safi River are some pinksback pelicans. They get their name from the pink feathers along their backs, which only really show up during mating season. They do, though, also have a 9-foot wingspan, which is as long as the benches you're sitting on, from door to door. And with that 9-foot wingspan, they actually only weigh around 12 pounds each. Now, also back there were some Nile hippos sleeping underwater. They were very hard to see. Those only a brief glimpse, but I've heard more reports of more up ahead, so we're going to go take a look at them. As the river's going to continue on your left-hand side here. And there they are to your left-hand side. Now there's the bloat now. Now the Nile hippo can weigh up to 5,000 pounds and hold their breath for several minutes, even sleeping underwater, as they have a special muscle that will flex, floating them up to catch their breath, and then go back down into the water without even waking themselves up out there. And though they weigh as much as a car, they can't swim through the water, but they much rather run along the bottom of the riverbed instead. But we're going to let that bloat continue to relax for today as we're going to continue along the river here. And as we continue further along the river and up here to your left-hand side, we see some Nile crocodiles out there now. The Nile crocodile grows up to 16 feet long. He can weigh up to 500 pounds like the 4 adults I can see out there now. So we see those 3 to your immediate left-hand side. There is a 4th one fully outside of the water and in the very back left back there. Now with the Nile crocodile weighing up to 500 pounds, they can also eat up to half their body weight in just one sitting. So it means an adult Nile crocodile can eat 250 pounds of food for just one meal. And this ability does allow them to go weeks, sometimes even months in between meals, depending on scarcity of food in that area. But now with that, we're going to trade out the Safi River for the open savanna, and we are almost there now, folks. Now one sign that we are almost there is going to be this large tree coming up on your right hand side here. Now this right here is a baobab tree. Now the large trunks of that tree will soak up water, storing them for dry and hot seasons, with many animals learning that they poke holes in that tree looking a much needed sip of water on a warm day. And with many animals doing this during the droughts, this does earn the baobab tree the nickname the Tree of Life. And as we come to overlook the open savanna, I can see a dazzle of zebras moving around out there as we speak. And zebras get that group named dazzle from the dazzling effect they have when they stand next to one another, making it hard for predators to determine where one zebra ends and another begins out there. But it seems we have a little bit of animal traffic as we're moving a little bit slower today. That's alright, just means it's a busy day. And here's that dazzle now coming up on your right hand side. This is going to be a dazzle of Hartman's mountain zebras, based off their stripes not covering their bellies fully. They also have a pouch of skin hanging down on their neck, which is called a dewlap, which has large veins in it used for regulating their body temperatures. And also on your right hand side, you're going to see a cluster of large horns here belonging to the Ankole cows, also known as the Watusi by the Watusi tribe who domesticated them. Now these horns are going to look quite heavy, but they're actually almost completely hollow on the inside. They have a honeycomb-like structure in their horns where blood flows into them to regulate their body temperatures there. They are completely aware of where their horns are, as they are not hitting each other with those horns, turning them in certain ways so they avoid each other. We also see a Maasai giraffe right there to your right hand side based off their rough and jagged spots. Now females like that one only grow up to around 16 feet tall, while males can grow up to 20 feet tall. But on your left-hand side, running around are some African painted dogs right now. Do not let their cuteness fool you. They're one of the most successful hunters here in the savannah. They hunt their prey down with their great stamina as they can run at 35 miles an hour for 3 whole miles. They also trade out who chase their prey using great teamwork as well. But now we're going to continue on here. We see these sable antelopes sitting down and standing up on your left-hand side out there, the emblem for the Harambe Wildlife Reserve. They're also a symbol of courage as they're known to stand up to their own predators in the savannah. And we have a zebra crossing now. But it looks like they're going to go fully across the road for us today, so we can continue past them. And see another way that the Ankole cow's horns can grow in on your left-hand side out there. You will also start to notice with that giraffe, there are butanolo hanging branches on trees out there. This is due to this tower of giraffes frequenting the area using their 18-inch long tongue to pull down those branches. And actually right now, if the adults aboard stick out their arms straight, you lift from your elbows to your fingertips, that is as long as a giraffe's tongue. And you will see a lot of giraffes eating throughout the day. This is because they eat for 20 hours out of the day, as they actually only sleep for around 30 minutes each day. And they do not sleep for 30 minutes all at once. They actually only sleep and take micro naps. That adds a total of 30 minutes of sleep every day out there. And it looks like we have one moving. They're going to move on our right hand side here. We're going to follow her along here. But now to your right hand side, I see the largest antelope on the reserve hanging out with the wardens over there by those termite mounds. That behind those termite mounds is an eland, as they are the largest antelope on the reserve, standing 6 feet tall at their shoulders. They can also weigh as much as a fully grown giraffe, but do not let that fool you. They can jump 5 feet high from a standing position. So if an eland wanted to, it was standing next to the vehicle, it could jump all the way from the ground up and into it with us now. And it looks like the eland's going to hang out with the wardens even closer today. Getting a sense of their size compared to the vehicles next to them. And that is a male eland based off the short and thick horns. As males have short, thick ones, females have long, skinny ones. But now we're going to continue around this corner here to see a herd of wildebeest on the hill to your right-hand side. The wildebeest is the second most densely packed mammal in the world, just behind humans, as they travel in herds of up to 1.5 million wildebeests. They are also nicknamed the Gnu for the new sound they make, spelled G and U as well. And I see a 20-foot tall male giraffe straight ahead of us right now, reaching into the trees where only he can get to. So we're going to see this 20-foot tall male giraffe quite close on your left-hand side out here. And I did also spot a baby giraffe go further into the tree line over there. And I see them now in the back over there by the female. So here's a 20-foot tall male, and there's a 9-foot tall baby giraffe back there. Now Maasai giraffe are born at 6 feet tall. I do say that baby giraffe looks about 9 feet tall though, meaning they're about 7 months old. Get an amazing look at that male up on his tippy toes getting into that tree, and that baby giraffe as well hanging out with the rest of the tower. And we also see another giraffe coming to say hello to us on the right hand side here, coming up and over the hill. But now we're going to continue into a more foresty part of the savannah where we have a large broken tree on your right hand side here. It would take quite a large animal to break a tree this big, so we're going to go see if we can find the culprit up ahead. And I think we found him. On your right hand side are some African elephants. Now we can tell male from female with two things. One, their size, as females only grow up to around 8,000 pounds. Males will grow up to a whopping 13,000 pounds. Males are also solitary, preferring to be alone compared to females like these who always travel in a group. They travel in a group known as a matriarchy, meaning the oldest and wisest of them, the matriarch, leads the group. We have another fully grown female out there on your right hand side flapping those great big ears today. Elephants flap their ears to cool off their bodies as they have large blood vessels in them. So when they flap their ears, that wind will cool off their blood, cooling off their bodies in turn. And there she is on your right hand side, a little bit closer today, using her prehensile trunk. Prehensile just means they have complete control over it, as it has thousands of muscles in it, more than the entire human body in fact. They use them to bring food to their mouth. They also suck up water into their trunks, then spray it to their mouth for a sip of water throughout the day. But as we continue to turn this corner, we're coming up on a very odd looking bridge. And when I say odd, I do mean old looking bridge, so I'm going to advise you to not look at these broken pieces of metal or the rope and zip ties on the bridge that the wardens try to use to comfort us with today. But look at your animal spotting guide above your heads and find some animals you have not seen yet to distract yourself, as it's better to look up than down right now. But luckily enough, we made it safely across, just like I hoped we would, so we're going to continue on now. And we're going to continue towards these red clay walls here. And if we are lucky, let's see if we are, and we have tusk marks on the right-hand wall. This is a sign of more elephants being nearby, so elephants will break off to then eat the red clay as sort of a daily vitamin to get more minerals in their diets, like that elephant walking away on your left-hand side. We seem to have found the rest of the herd out here today. Elephants do also use the red clay to sharpen their tusk as well. They are unfortunately poached for their tusk, as they're made of ivory, which is highly valued in the black market around the world. And poaching and deforestation is especially devastating to elephants, as they have the longest gestation period of any animal, being pregnant for 22 months. So we seem to have found the rest of the herd moving around out there today. But we're going to continue on to see if there is any more up ahead, as we seem to have found a break in the brush, luckily enough today. As we pass these two small baobab trees on your right hand side here, continuing on. I'm not seeing the rest of the herd out there in the distance. That's all right. We can go through a little bit of water and continue on today. And as we continue through the water and around the corner, we're coming up on a flamboyance of greater flamingos hanging out near the weirdly shaped island. The greater flamingo is the largest and palest of all the flamingos, but the lightest as well. They get their pink coloration from the brine shrimp of the water that they eat, which carries a chemical called beta-carotene, giving them their natural pink glow. You will see flamingos dunking their heads upside down in the water. This is how they grab the shrimp. They then slowly pull their heads up to filter the water from the shrimp, getting the most of every bite out there. They do also put their heads on their backs to sleep throughout the day, as this is where their softest feathers are, acting as sort of a pillow for themselves to sleep on while standing up or sitting down. But now we are going to say goodbye to that flamboyance as we head back into the brush of the savannah now. And in the brush of the savannah, we do have a large mud pit appearing on your left-hand side that appears to be freshly wallowed in by something quite large. I would most likely say by rhinos, as rhinos love rolling around in the mud to use as either sunscreen or bug repellent, as their skin is just as sensitive as our skin. So we are going to move quickly to try and catch up with those rhinos, as I see a few rhino tracks down there in the dirt, so we're going to keep going quickly here. I will also say, speaking of moving quickly, I can see a cheetah in the distance right now. As we make this turn, they're going to be on your left-hand side on the very back of the hill over there. The fastest animal in the savannah, running at 60 miles an hour. Well, we can only see their ears for the moment in the very back. They can get up to top speed in just around 3 seconds, though they can only maintain it for about 200 yards. We see those two cheetahs right now to your back left-hand side. And I see 2 more cheetahs, so we have 4 cheetahs in this immediate area. You may notice they lounge like your household cat. They also sound just like them, as they also make a meowing and a purring noise too. And I see a 5th cheetah further along the hill over there. So we have 5 cheetahs in this area. But as we continue on, we're going to be sticking with the big cat theme, as we have some Kofi rocks coming up. These large and tall rocks are commonly frequented by lions, like the one at the top of the rocks, to get an advantage point of things around them. And the male lion I see walking around now. We're very lucky to see awake lions, as they sleep for up to 20 hours out of the day, being dawn and dusk hunters most active just before morning and just before the nighttime. So we see that one female at the very tippity top of those rocks up there.
Oh, there's another one.
We do see him. I did just see the male go up and over the hill there to your left-hand side. We're going to go pay a visit to him here very soon. We have some water bucks on our right-hand side here, coming up as we make the turn. The water buck secretes an oil which waterproofs their coats, acting as though their own personal umbrella. They also have a heart-shaped nose and a circle on their behinds. So the circle helps the young follow their mothers through the thick forest trees. We see that male lion has fallen asleep out there. To your left-hand side, that male has plopped down and gone to sleep already. That poor guy is very tired. He possibly was only sleeping around 17 hours before he laid back down, so he's very tired still today. Now, based off his size and color, I'd say he's only about 3 years old, meaning he is not fully grown yet. And with that male not being fully grown, he's still learning to use his roar. But when he fully figures it out, it can be heard to a full 6 miles away. There he is, everybody, fast asleep already. And there's actually 2 females on the top of the rocks. There's one even further up on the rocks there. But while they're distracted by something in the distance, not us for the moment, we're going to take this as a chance to sneak away quickly this way. Towards some large burrows up ahead, most likely made by warthogs, as they're some of the largest burrowing animals. Having 2 sets of tusks, one for digging and one for fighting, we're going to keep our eyes peeled for a fuzzy rock walking around with a set of tusks on it. but I believe they might be deep in their burrows. They actually like backing into their burrows, sort of like reversing into a parking space to show off their tusks at the entrance to deter predators wanting to enter with them. As I'm not seeing any fuzzy rocks walking around today, that's all right. We're going to continue on here. And I do believe we have a female ostrich in the nearby area, and I only say that as there's a fresh clutch of ostrich eggs out there on your right-hand side. Those eggs can weigh up to 3 pounds or 2 dozen chicken eggs, and they're just as strong as they are big, as the average person can stand on top of a single ostrich egg and not crack or break it at all. But now with that, we're not going to be exiting the savannah and heading towards Magadi Glen now. And here in Magadi, we have the Warden's Post straight ahead of us now. And it looks like the Warden is cleaning up after their recently adopted Nigerian dwarf goats. They've also got these goats for their high protein milk. They may have also thought they were babies and they just recently adopted them, but those are already fully grown adult Nigerian dwarf goats out there. Alrighty, but sadly this is bringing us to the end of our safari, as we now have to make our way back towards civilization now. And unfortunately for many animals out in the wild, they're not only losing their homes but their lives every day due to deforestation, and this is caused by logging, mining, and many more things in the immediate area. One thing you can do to help with those animals and the environment in its entirety from home every day is by using the 3 R's. The 3 R's are recycle, reduce, and reuse. And another thing you can help out those animals with in the wild today, in fact, is by donating, which you can do at any local merchandising location, simply by asking to or even rounding up your purchase to the nearest whole dollar. Every cent counts, as Disney will also match cent for cent, dollar for dollar that's donated here every single day, giving animals in the wild double the help they so much need and deserve out there. And now if you are just like me and that was not enough animals for your day, once you get off the truck and go up and around the corner to your right hand side, you'll find the entrance to Gorilla Falls. It is a self-paced walking trail taking around 10-15 minutes depending on your speed, with strollers, wheelchairs, and ECVs being welcome and accommodated for. They have many animals out there like gorillas, hippos, okapis, meerkats, and a whole lot more, so not even they have the animals spotted out there. And with the hippos, it'll actually be an underwater viewing of the hippo. Now, once again, my name is Garrett. I'll be out in the village for the rest of the day until the park closes, so if you do spot me moving around out there, do not be afraid to come up and ask any questions you may have. But unfortunately, this sign our time together is coming to an end, so rather than saying goodbyes, that's far too final and far too sad. Here in Harambe, we like to say Quaterini instead, which means to go well, so I hope you all go well and have an amazing wild rest of your day here at Disney's Animal Kingdom. And on that right hand side, please let your hands, arms, feet, and legs, those doors sliding open, and watch your step as you exit the truck. Everybody, have a great rest of your day and Quaterini, folks. Thank you very much.